The Vaccinator, Medic's most infamous Medigun, and depending on who you ask, the single most hated weapon in his entire kit. A weapon with a reputation for being completely overpowered, able to make almost every player on the enemy team wish they were playing something else. The Vaccinator is one of 3 unlockable Medigun variants available to Medic. On the surface, it works like you'd expect. You heal teammates, you build uber charge, and then you use that charge to keep your team alive, deny pushes, or break through choke points. But that's where the similarities end. Instead of building towards one uber like stock, quick fix, or kritzkrieg, the Vaccinator's uber charge is split into 4 smaller charges, each lasting 2.5 seconds. It also has a significantly faster base ubercharge build rate and passively grants a 10% resistance to one of 3 damage types: bullet, explosive, or fire. You can cycle between these at any time by pressing reload, meaning you're constantly adapting to whatever threat is in front of you. The downsides are that it builds overheal 66% slower than stock and builds ubercharge 33% slower when healing overhealed patients. At first glance, that may sound like a fair trade. Less overheal, less consistent uber building, no full invulnerability. Seems balanced, right? Right? Except that there are a few things that the game doesn't tell you. First, while it does build uber slower on overhealed targets, its base build rate is so absurdly high that even under that penalty, it still builds uber roughly 30% faster than stock on a fully overhealed patient. Second, unlike every other Medigun in the game, the Vaccinator can recharge while it's already active, meaning that the moment you pop a charge, the meter immediately begins filling again. And by the time that 2.5 second charge ends, you're already halfway back to the next one. Now combine that with everything else. So you have 4 separate charges instead of 1. Those charges can be activated individually, they can be staggered to extend survivability, and you can chain them all together to extend the total duration beyond that of a stock uber charge. So instead of one big push or defense window, you get multiple near constant ones. In practice, this means that a good medic can completely shut down almost all incoming damage, deny picks that absolutely should have gone through, and stretch a single push or defense out far longer than any other Medigun would allow you to. In TF2, most classes are built around a single primary damage type. For example, Demoman obviously focuses on explosive damage. Against a Vaccinator medic that knows what they're doing and has used a mouse and keyboard before, Demo can't do anything against the medic in their pocket, as his damage is cut down to a pitiful amount on top of his opponent constantly being healed and him not being able to switch to another damage type. This is the case for most classes. In fact, the only classes capable of dealing more than one damage type are Soldier and Pyro. And yes, I'm aware that every class can technically do 2 damage types, because they each have a melee weapon, but running at a medic that is actively healing someone with your melee weapon is a guaranteed way to get sent to heaven with same-day delivery. Now, of course, I have to say this because I know I'll see it in the comments if I don't address it. The amount of game sense and muscle memory required to maximize the Vaccinator's effectiveness is far beyond that of your average cover. As I'm sure you can tell from my wonderful background footage that I am almost useless with this weapon. But in the hands of a competent medic that knows the weapon and has at least one teammate that is capable of rubbing 2 brain cells together, it can almost single-handedly guarantee a win. So, what do we do about this thing? I have a couple of rebalance ideas. I'm not really sure if any of them are any good. The way I think the Vaccinator was meant to be balanced was that it makes you less powerful in any one instance than any of the other Mediguns, but it makes your average survivability higher. But the problem is that the extra survivability it provides is so disposable that it ends up being too strong. So what I propose is remove the separate charges and make it into a single 8-second charge like all the other Mediguns. Increase the passive resistance to 25%. If that's too strong, maybe 15 to 20% can work. Increase the uber resistance from 75 to 80%. Give it the same max overheal penalty as the quick fix, and remove its ability to recharge while a charge is active. These changes would definitely require some testing, but I think it would be better than the current Vaccinator. Like I said, we may need to tone down or even remove the passive resistance and maybe increase its healing rate or something. I'm not sure if these changes are balanced, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. That's all I've got for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, I really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. I know it's annoying when content creators ask you to do that, and I appreciate everyone who does it anyway. Thanks in either case, and I hope you have a good one.